Well, good morning, friends, and happy game day to you all. It's Mark Holmes here, actually, at my in law's house, and the weather in the DMV area is wet. It is raining like crazy, so the Redskin game is going to definitely have some mud. It's kind of a cold rain on top of it. Definitely not the kind of conditions you really want to be out in. But you know what? I'm gonna be heading up the road here in a little bit. I got to go by the store and get some stuff for tonight's game. I'm gonna be out in that rain if it's still raining this afternoon, cooking up some steak and cheeses, some real steak and cheeses, and of course some good old Jobu chicken wings. Because, well, let's face it, gotta have Jobu wings, gotta have some steak and cheeses and stuff to go on with this game. You know, Eagles versus Cowboys. There's so much on the line today. And when you think back in the history of the Cowboys and the Cowboys and the Eagles have played in prime time since 1970. I think they said 27 times, the most of any other matchup. Probably used to be the Redskins Cowboys, but the Redskins, well, they don't play well night game and primetime games. They just don't. They just stink. But there's been some incredible matches with those guys. I mean, I remember the body ball game, man, and that was put the kids to bed. That was ugly. I remember Michael Irvin just about breaking his freaking neck in Philadelphia, and the Eagle fans basically cheering it on. And the Eagle fans, they mean, they ugly. I remember last week, the Eagles got their ass handed to them. And watching our game, we got an Eagle fan walking by. Yeah. Dude, keep walking. Just keep on walking. This game is huge. You can tell this by how hard all of these players try to get back on the field. This is Eagles. This is Cowboys. This is what the players live for, these games. I don't know how effective our offensive line will be, Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins. But this is the first time we've had our opening day line back together since New Orleans. Somebody's been hurt every week since then. I'm hoping that this gives us a little momentum that we can really start getting Zeke Elliott going. But make no mistake about it, Amari Cooper in that receiving core is going to be key because the Philadelphia Eagles secondary is some doo-doo. They have not been able to stop passing attacks. Kirk Cousins, 4 TDs. Kirk freaking Cousins. With so much on the line, we're talking about coaching careers on the line. And here's my thing with Jason Garrett is, Jason Garrett is a survivor. Every time you think that this is the end, that this is the darkest hour, somehow, some way, the sun comes out over Jason Garrett. The only thing is, win or lose, the thing that I hope for more than anything else is that we have a fair shot at it. I don't know what's going on with the whole officials. They might as well just take away the challenge for pass interference. There's been one pass interference that's been overturned. One. That was one of those ones I think the NFL just kind of said, you know what, we'll toss you a bone and say, here, we'll fix it in the future. But they don't want the officials challenged on this. Because we've seen twice our receivers getting literally held like crazy. I mean, pulling the arm from behind. Getting molested down the field, and they don't change it. They don't call it. Now, I said last week, and this is what pisses me off, because when we lose, of course, oh, your team just sucks. It just sucks. You just stop crying about it. But no. The beating that the officials allowed Dak Prescott to take last week, and I'm not looking at this because I'm saying we need to baby him. All I ask is that we call the games the same way. To turn around and now go ahead and say, oh, we're going to find 2 of the Jet players. $21,000 after the fact, after we've lost the game. Because if you don't think that just those two, and there were more of them that could have been unnecessary roughness that would have gotten first downs, you don't think 30 more yards would have made a difference in that. Instead of first down on the 40, we would have had first down on the 25 on that drive that ended up being that we didn't make it on fourth down. If we score that touchdown in there, that's a different game. Because these officials are now, where they're supposed to be out of the limelight, now controlling who wins and loses in these games. And if it's about the safety of the players and keeping your quarterbacks upright, then what are you doing, NFL? But if that's the way it's going to be, I have no problem with saying, hey, the quarterback is a player like anybody else on the field. But don't turn around and if somebody looks cross-eyed at Tom Brady, that you give him 15 extra yards. Call the game the same. If we go out there, we compete, and we don't get screwed over by the officials with like offensive pass interference on a touchdown, and we lose, I'm okay with that. Is Philadelphia, as much as I hate them, as much as I don't like Carson Wentz, as much as I joke and give them a hard time, I still have to respect the team. They are a good team. They're still garbage, but they're a good team. And either way, it's still going to be teams to reckon with. This game has been playing in so many different scenarios in my head of this, that, and the other. When you look at the Eagles' schedule, the Eagles have to feel a sense of urgency because you look at the games they have coming up. I think they have the Bears, they have Buffalo, they have New England, they have Seattle. You don't want to go take those games after coming off of 2 games already that you've lost. That's how a team slides. And as Philly put it yesterday, he said, teams that are 4-3 have about a 50% chance of making playoffs. Teams that are 3-4 have about a 17% chance. It doesn't mean you can't get hot like we did last year, but things look a whole lot better at 4-3 than 3-4. For our Cowboys, hey, Jason Garrett, his job is on the line. Make no mistake about it. As much as the Cowboys have said, "Oh no, we love Jason Garrett. We're not going to, we don't do," as Steven just says, we don't do things like that. Fire coach in the middle of the season. Is that how Jason Garrett got his job? After Wade Phillips started out 1-7 on a team that we thought we were going to have a home field Super Bowl. Really? Really? We lose 4 games straight with the bye week right there. Yeah. Yeah. You can think that if you want. But I think if the Cowboys get showed up on Sunday Night Football, 4-game losing streak, after all of the aspirations and ideas of being that team, you got to do something to do something. The Cowboys invested a lot into the season. They went out and got Robert Quinn. They traded number 1 for Amari Cooper. They paid D-Law. They paid Zeke Elliott. They would want to pay Dak Prescott. If this season ends up being a failure, somebody has to pay. Now, some of you guys will say, you know what? I hope we lose so we get rid of Jason Garrett. And it's like, God, I can't root for us to lose against the Eagles. Can't. I just can't do it. But we'll be back in the man cave tonight. We're going to be doing something special on our live stream. We're going to end up having picture-in-picture with Philly 500 so we can see both of our teams, how the reaction is. It's going to get crazy. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, get the car packed so we can get the heck up out of here. I'll see you guys back at the man cave.